co-founders and chief operating officer for the Stafford Boxing Club Incorporated, our nonprofit organization, which is a yearly mentoring program for at-risk youth in the community.
So we will be able to teach financial literacy, communication, discipline, decision making, as well as campaigning for a premium education.
These are the foundation for the Stafford Boxing Club, these 20 mentees in our program here at Panola Way Elementary School. 20 years from now, Stafford Boxing mentees will be known across the world.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Lady Stafford in the house.
Big Stafford, I'm talking back. Man, good to be back in the seats, ain't it?
Yeah.
How you feeling, babe?
Good.
Good. Got a great show for you guys today. We appreciate all the support. Like, share, and subscribe. Talking Fight YouTube channel, the Stafford Boxing Club YouTube channel. Hey, what, babe? You know what? So you didn't see Adasia, did you?
No.
So today was the last day. Well, for us, it was. So Wednesday is the official day for last day of school for DeKalb County in DeKalb County, Georgia. And so we went to our second home, Panola Way Elementary School, under the leadership of Dr. Corey Stigall.
And we went Friday for their graduation.
Yeah, for honors.
As slash honor roll slash principal list and slash some other great achievements that so many of the students was able to be recognized for.
Yeah, so we have about 25 kids in our program this year. And so I think how many kids? About 18 of them. So we had about 18 kids that was there for Honors Day, and we were invited to come and support them. So it was a pretty cool event. Had an opportunity to see the kids' parents. That was interesting. But man, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So
excuse the noise. They're doing some reconstruction going on.
So I know marijuana has become a legal drug in our communities, but I feel that it is very inappropriate for parents to come to a child's event at an elementary school smelling like gas, man. That just was out of pocket to me, man. I mean, it was multiple parents coming in there smelling like gas. I'm talking about, I was like, what? I just didn't understand. Now, listen, to each his own, you do what you want to do, but to come to your child's Honors Day celebration smelling like gas, I mean, if you're going to fire it up afterwards. You see what I'm saying? Don't come into the building and you just smelling like gas like that, man. That was crazy to me. I never experienced nothing like that, but it's the first time for everything. But with that being said, man, we are extremely proud of the kids in our program.
They all passed the Georgia milestone.
They all passed the Georgia milestone. They all said that the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program helped them to become mentally strong to take the Georgia milestone. So, with that being said, it wasn't us.
No.
It was them that said it.
Yes.
So we're going to use that material that we received from them to show how impactful our program is. And so these kids that are currently in our program are going to different middle schools. So they're going to...
Okay, so they're going to Lithonia Middle School, Miller Grove, Redan, Salem, and Bethune.
So at first I was kind of uncomfortable because I didn't want to grow our program so fast that we didn't have the resources for it. But after just praying, and I just heard God say to me, like, you're planting seeds at these different middle school. And so you will have the resources for those kids. And so that's very important to me, financial sustainability, because sometimes in corporate America, you can go through a cutback season where these companies don't have the financial resources to give to nonprofit organizations such as the Stafford Boxing Club mentoring program. And so we don't want our kids to feel like we don't have it for them because they are already coming from disadvantaged communities and households and stuff like that. And we are, you know, we are very fortunate to be that vehicle, right? To support the kids. And we feel that a lot of them are grateful, appreciative, and we love all of them, but there are a few of them that hits home with us. You want to say their name? You don't have to say no. Oh, okay. No. I was gonna say their name because I just love them. You know what I mean? But my wife said don't say their name. But with that being said, we received a couple of texts this past Friday from a couple of parents, and it really touched us. You know what I mean? So they were saying to us that not only are we helping their kids, but we also being a blessing to their family. Right. So we're excited about the summer. We have some events planned for them. So we're gonna go to the library. That's one of the things. So all the kids in our program, one of the requirements is to have a library card. So we're going to check out some books they're going to read this summer. And then we're going to go to the Federal Reserve. And so Sheila and I had an opportunity to go to the Federal Reserve here in Atlanta. And man, it's a very educational experience. And it shows how in the beginning they was using animals. They were using animals, spears, anything pretty much that they can make that they knew that somebody needed, especially when they were hunting for their food. Yeah, so they would use sticks. They were using tea as currency. They were using all types of things. And it shows like the different printed money during this time and so forth and how it leads up to the current day. And I want them to really understand about their financial literacy. And one of our sponsors, Truist Bank, provided financial literacy for the kids so they can understand about savings because they know how to spend. But I think that having the savings tool in your toolbox can help you go a long way in life, you know, into your adulthood. And that's something that you can pass on from generation to generation about savings. Facts. Yeah. Facts. So check this out, you all. I have some very interesting topics that I would like to talk about. But the first thing is we're calling this Hot Topics. Hot Topics. So KS1 as well as Fournier. KS1 is a British YouTuber. So we all know not too long ago they had a fight and the referee didn't see what had happened. And I do believe that KSI gave him a right hook or a right jab, but then it was followed through with an elbow. So Fournier, who is an English businessman as well as a professional boxer, he appealed it. So now the PBA has gone and has rendered a judgment within his favor. So he hasn't lost anything. They made it a no contest. So good for him. I believe that should have happened. All right, E40, West Coast rapper. For those who may not know, he has been honored with a doctorate degree. It's a school that he attended in the early 80s, Grambling University. So now we will be calling him Dr. E40. Doctor. Why, you know what? E40 gonna come out with some type of slang, yes, to talk about him being a doctor. And I'm proud of him too. So good for you. Oh, the other thing about E40, he's been faithful and married to the same woman all these years. Oh, that's even better. For real. Keep it up. Keep it up. Jim Brown, as we all know, 81, he passed away. Legend. He was an American football player, a civil rights activist, and an actor. I actually saw a couple of movies he was in, and he played fullback for the Cleveland Browns, and he was very well respected in the sport industry, all industries, entertainment industries, and I would always see him somewhere talking to somebody. So our condolences to his family. Now, this really has me excited.
We already know what the title is: Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Rivalries. It's been going on for the longest time, but where I want to start off is the Ali and Frazier fight. And this one was very interesting. Now, at the beginning, they were both friends because apparently, when the Vietnam War was going on and Muhammad did not want to enlist, Frazier spoke up with him for him in front of Congress as well as President Nixon. And he had also given Ali some money. Now, Ali was very strategic. We know that he had some words and a great mouthpiece on him, but at the same time, he backed it up. He knew about marketing. But Frazier, some of the things that Muhammad Ali had said did get under Frazier's skin, and Frazier didn't like it. Muhammad Ali had called him an Uncle Tom and also said something negative about his character, and Frazier couldn't understand. And I know you all have seen this with their interview with Howard. And usually he would sit in between the fighters, but this time they did it differently. The two of them sat side by side. Now they were going back and forth, but it wasn't until when Frazier had mentioned when they were watching the fight, when Ali had to go to the hospital. And that's when things started turning left. So we all saw that Frazier got up. Muhammad was saying, "Look, sit down, Frazier, sit down." But then they got into a scuffle during the interview. And ever since then, it was bad blood. They had fought 3 times. So the first time, we all know, Frazier won. It was an all war. The second time they fought, it was a good fight, but it was a lot of tussling. But Muhammad Ali won. And then also the third one. But the third one was called Thriller in Manila. And what was interesting about that one was the ref did not hear Frazier's corner call for the stoppage. And then Muhammad Ali was in his corner telling his people, cut my gloves off, cut my gloves off. But then later on, Frazier ended up getting cancer and he was living in a hospice. And that's when Muhammad Ali and Frazier decided to let things go. We have another one. Wilder versus Fury. This is the second fight. Now, Wilder was talking a lot of mess. He told Fury, "Look, your fists are as pillows. And after this fight is over, you might as well just go ahead and do comedy." Well, we all know what happened. We all know what happened with that fight. And what I noticed, even with Mike Tyson, a lot of people, when they have the press conference, the person who's doing the most of the trash talking and like is really getting disrespectful, especially like Rolly, they get handed the business. So we all know about Rolly, but I'm not going to get into that, not unless Stafford wants to talk about that, but we can get back into that later.
No, we're gonna stop talking about that Rolly. Since you mentioned him, we're gonna
Okay, now when we do that, can we just make sure that I can do De La Hoya and Trinidad and then my last ones with the Sanchez?
Yeah.
Man, the last ones, this one is really exciting.
So it was last weekend, right? Yeah, it was last.
No,
week.
it was last. I'm
yeah,
kind of off.
It was last weekend. That the Rolly fight, man. You know, I love the sport of boxing. I do. I think that it's a great opportunity to steer people in the right direction. I think that you can learn a lot about yourself in the sport of boxing. It's a way to vent, get stuff off your chest, learn discipline, self-esteem, goal setting, communication, build confidence, etc. And I don't want to say nothing negative about judges. I don't.
Judges or referees.
I don't want to say nothing bad. But man, this was unbelievable. The fight with Rolly and I forgot his name, but he was like a 40-year-old fighter.
And they kept on talking about he's old, he's old,
But
he's
man,
old.
he
But
was, hey
really,
man, that man was putting them 52s on that boy, man. And then the ref stopped the fight, man. It was unbelievable. And it was like, Rolly, now I am no one to talk down on no one, or I'm never a player hater. I don't hate on anyone. But in terms of the outlook for the entire sport of boxing, that wasn't cool at all. You should have let them fight it out, etc. Now I understand that when a fighter's in danger, the referee want to step
but he
in.
wasn't in
He
danger
wasn't
though.
in danger, bruh. And to me, I felt like the referee interfered with the real result of the match so that the correct fighter will get his justice at the end. But that was awful.
Even Rowley said, now there's two things. Rowley did say that he did stop it too
Premature,
early,
yeah.
right? And but there's one thing that I do like about Rowley though.
He
Hey,
honest
he'll
dude.
fight.
He'll fight, and he an honest dude. And even Rolly, he know that
Yeah,
he didn't really win that. He know that.
they
And
should just go ahead and do another
run it back,
rematch.
run it
Yeah,
back,
just go ahead and do it.
run it
Since
back.
he knows that,
Yeah,
then
just
it's
run it
only
back
right
because
that you
Rolly
run
is a
it back.
champion now,
Yeah.
and like what, the 140 belt. I mean, excuse me,
Yeah.
the 140 pound. So now Rolly is a champion in that weight class. So now whoever's that weight going to have an opportunity to fight for a championship, and Rolly has the belt. So that's another payday for him. Now I don't know if people were looking out for him so that he can get another payday or what. I don't know. But the point of the matter is, man, that was a bad look for the sport of boxing. Then the fight between Devin Haney
And Chenko. Oh
and
boy, people are
Lomachenko.
going in
Hey
on
man,
that.
say, bro, listen. With all due respect to Devin Haney, his father, I have so much respect for you guys, man. I love the movement. I love the bond. I love what you have instilled into your son, and I respect you, Devin Haney, as a fighter, etc. But man, them judges, man, for I don't know, man. Y'all could at least said it was a draw, so y'all can run it back, so that give the fans what they want. But that was an injustice right there. And I'm a big Devin Haney fan, and I like Lomachenko. I like what he stands for. For someone to uh, resign from boxing for a period of time to go and fight for your country, bro. That's I can't really put that into words, like how much respect that I have for an individual, because he didn't think about himself. He thought about his country. And that's the difference between fighters in the United States and fighters outside of the United States. They fight for their country. The fighters in the United States, they only fight for themselves, their family, you know, their children, etc. But it's not like you have a sense of pride that you will fight for your own country like some of the other fighters. But
Like Mexico and Puerto Rico.
you know what I'm saying, like
Hey,
Puerto Rico and
Hey.
Mexico, them boys, they fight for their country, bro. And so it's a difference. And I see how when the Hispanics and the Puerto Ricans, when they fight, how the community comes out and support these fights. It's a totally different than uh, an African American or white American fighting in the United States. They don't really get a lot of support, not unless that person done a remarkable job marketing themselves, and they got a great promoter and a great marketing team behind them, so they were able to get into the households of mainstream. Okay, but it's totally different, man. And I man, that was, I
But
don't
you
know,
know what?
man.
This is what I want to say, that it's almost like, and it's been happening forever anyway, that it's what's been going on for decades, and what we have seen recently is being taken. The sport of boxing is like being taken away. And what I mean by that is, okay, we know in any sport there's going to be some dishonesty going on and something that shouldn't be going on. But you have to really see how you as a fighter or your fighter really is. Like it's almost like they're being sold a dream and you're selling yourself a dream. You don't really have it in you to fight this specific fighter. So it's like you're taken away from yourself. So do you really like to box? Is that really your passion? Is this something that you really want to do? Or would you rather just cut corners because you need to get the bag and you need to get the accolades and the notoriety or anything? I really think that things that have been going on, it's taken away from the fans. It's taken away from the enjoyment of the sport of boxing.
What's my man name that used to be on ESPN and he was
Oh,
Teddy
Teddy
Atlas.
Atlas. I don't think he's any longer
Man,
a commentary on ESPN because
enough.
it's there. He's like he said it's just too much corruption going on. I'm not. I just it's just very disappointing.
Man, it was awful, man.
About what's
that
going
fight.
on.
Now listen, Devin Haney scored a lot of points. He won rounds. I'm not saying that, but Lomachenko, he won some rounds too. But the way that the judges scored that fight, I was like, ain't no way. I mean, it should have been a draw.
I knew something was wrong, number one, during the press conference when Haney
pushed him.
Now, look, I get that you want to market the fight and you want to make it all big, but you just don't cross that line. There was no need to. So this is my opinion, you all, okay? And this is what I had told my husband as when we saw it. I believe, in my opinion, that Haney was scared.
You think he was scared?
I think he was. And then look, I think he was concerned because when they were in their corner, I looked at Haney and his whole expression had been totally different than how his facial expression has been in his other fights. And then when the fight started, and I want to go back and look at again his Haney's other fights because it's something that he had did with his fists at the beginning, and I don't remember him ever doing that before. But you can tell that he was a little off. It was just something. That's just my opinion. That's just something that I discerned and that I saw.
Lomo was giving the work, and so when Haney went into his corner, I think it may have been like the 10th or 11th round or something like that. His father really didn't know what to say to him. He really didn't. Like, I remember one round he told Devin that he was winning the fight. And I think that was to psychologically, give him like, okay, I'm okay, and not to worry about him losing the fight.
He should have did what Floyd did with Tank. Remember that time? Yeah.
He said, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. But I think Devin is a little bit is younger than Tank, and Tank and Devin, they built different. They built different. So after the fight, Shakur Stevenson came into the ring, and Devin was saying that I'm number one, and then Shakur was like, yeah, for now. But I would have liked to see Devin and Shakur like face each other, like the way that you did Lomo, and you got all up in his face. Y'all should have kept. I mean, you should have had that same type of.
Do that,
you know what I'm saying? Knows. His father was pulling like, "Come on, man, let's go." And like
he's gonna have to put in some few more fights before he even fights Stevenson.
He not, man, Stevenson,
because you're not ready for the Stevenson.
Or Tank.
No, you're not ready for either one of them. You're gonna have to put
some more. For what we saw Saturday,
you're gonna have to put some more work in.
No. And that's just coming from as a fan of the sport and a fan of you, bruh. No, you're not ready for that, man. Because them boys will hurt you. And Shakur, he's Sugar Shakur. Yeah, Sugar Shakur Stevenson. You feel me? Like, Holmes he nice.
Let me tell you, I watched. I'm talking about the referee, the Taylor and Cameron fight. Awesome fight. I really have respect for the referee. It was a young lady. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Now, she was refereeing the fight like a referee was supposed to be refereeing the fight. Wherever they were, she was, and she'll be going like this, just doing everything she's supposed to. So I have the utmost respect. That's how you are supposed to be refereeing. You cannot have your back turned.
Baby, you know what I forgot?
What?
Man, my RX water, man.
Oh, medical hydration.
Shout out to RX water,
Drink
medical
RX,
grade hydration.
Urologic Institute.
For real, the official water for USA Boxing, no cap.
And the WBC.
The WBC.
And they're also partners with the USA Boxing Team. Olympic.
Yeah.
USA Boxing.
I think
Olympic.
I said that, babe.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you just said I just thought you said USA. I didn't hear you say the Olympic team.
Yeah, it's the official water for the USA Boxing. Yeah, for real. United States of America. RX water, medical grade hydration. Man. Oh yeah, we supposed to get that shipment of water coming in this week. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for all the customers who bought RX water. We definitely will be tightening you guys up, blessing you. We appreciate your patience. Shout out to Norm. Shout out to what's my folks' name from College Park?
Pam.
My bad, Pam. My
Pam
bad.
And her husband.
My bad, Sean. My bad. But we got other customers who paid in advance, and we greatly appreciate your patience and your support. And we also gonna have RX water at LA Fitness too.
Yeah,
for real. And we can't talk about the other one yet until it actually happens.
But look, I'm excited. Look, I want to talk about this real quick. I'm going to jump to it, but we all know I'm not going to talk about the De La Hoya and the Trinidad fight. We all know about this. I really want to speak about this one. It's not going to be long. So check this out, right? Wilfredo Gomez, who's from Puerto Rico, this is where it's all started, okay? And then Juan Antonio, who's from Mexico. Of course, these were two fighters. And this is the first fight that I had seen with Gomez. Now, I'm going to tell you, Gomez was a beast. He was 21 years young. He was extremely, extremely physical fit. He had great defense reflexes. This man right here, he was just able to adapt to any style and just everything. It was almost like he was perfect, okay? Now check this out. Now, Carlos Zarate, he was from Mexico, right? Now, they were, of course, scheduled to fight, and they did. The only thing was Zarate was threatened with a huge lawsuit because 2 weeks before they were supposed to fight, which they fought in San Juan, he caught the flu. And he didn't want to fight, but he had no choice. He ended up fighting anyway. And when I was watching this fight with these two men, it was marvelous because we were just talking about how fighters from Mexico and Puerto Rico, how it's almost like they carry the country on their back and always bring them with them. When I tell you, even though Zarate was very sick, he gave it his all. He gave it his best. But we know Wilfredo won. Now I'm going to tell you, Mexico was not happy at all. The fans were not happy. They wanted payback. So guess what happened? Sanchez, who was the protege of Zarate, was young. He lived, I believe it was 1.5 miles above sea level. He put himself through boxing camp, which in Mexico, it was in the city of Mexico. The thing that I like about him, nobody had to tell him what to do, how to do it, when to do it, nothing. He did it himself because he said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to win these fights. I'm going to be a champion. And for the country, my country, Mexico, we're going to get our payback. So in between, Sanchez did have several fights and he won. So when it was time for him and Wilfredo, he said Wilfredo is going to need a before and an after picture because he's not going to be able to recognize himself. When I tell you, when those two got in the ring, Sanchez gave him the business. But you know what? Remember when you was telling us about Canelo, how he had, I think, is it the mariachi band?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just back up. Before they even fought, they both had their own bands come into the ring on their side, and they were playing, they were representing. Boy, Sanchez gave him the business. Wilfredo was humble. He ate a big slice of humbled pie. Now, Sanchez did have a few fights after that, but unfortunately, he was speeding in his Porsche. He got into a car crash. And every year, the community comes together and to remember him. And Wilfredo 38 times came to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm trying to say is Mexico and Puerto Rico, they are very passionate about when it comes to their fighters. They're passionate to when it comes to anything.
They just
family,
yeah.
And they support each other hard and they have each other's back. So if one person is having a hard time, guess what they do? Remember the gentleman that we met at Feeding Georgia Family, and he said the only time he looks down is when he's trying to extend his hand to help
that was hard.
Somebody else
that
up.
Was hard.
He said that's the only time he looks down.
Man, that was hard when he said that. Yeah, it was hard.
So that's why that's why I really wanted to talk about Mexico and Puerto Rico, because they are a great example of how we all should come together and support each other and help each other out when needed and not take advantage of others.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sheila, 1,000%. We have a Hispanic girl in our mentoring program, and when I tell you, man, when she first came to our program, she was kind of shy. But after being under Sheila and our leadership in our program, she is full of confidence. She is, matter of fact, she is one of the
top.
Yeah, she's one of the top.
Saw her today. She really wasn't feeling good.
Oh, she
wasn't. I was looking at her eyes.
Yeah.
They were like a little red.
Yeah.
And she wasn't herself, but she was happy.
Yeah.
But no, she wasn't feeling
Baby,
good.
didn't I give her I gave her one.
I hope so.
I know
I don't even remember if you did or not.
I know I did.
Oh, I want to shout out to Estella, a real dear friend of mine. She's one of those.
What?
Estella.
I
know she is, but I'm talking about as far as woman to woman, because we've been talking lately. She's really been sewing into me and very encouraging. You don't really meet people like that, so shout out to you, Estella. We love you.
Really, we do, and we appreciate you. And so I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about earlier about the kids the program in our program.
Yeah.
So today, when we went to Panola Way Elementary School for the last time this year, and it was a surprise, really. And I say the surprise came from when we walked into school and we saw the principal actually wearing the Stafford boxing polo shirt, and that made me feel so good, man, to know that the principal definitely support and appreciate what we've been able to accomplish this school year. This year was a success, and it's amazing how we was able to take 2 loaves of bread and 2 fish and just make it do what it do. But I want to thank all the sponsors from Walmart, from RX Water, Truist Bank, This is it, Little. I want to thank you so much for
And
making
even
this year a success. Oh, and Wristband Bros, I want to thank you so much for the support. Um, oh, we can't forget about Tabari.
oh yes, yes, and
T-
your friend.
Tabari, you right. Tabari, my boy,
Thomas.
Thomas, Thomas Morse, the photographer. You know what? I met Thomas maybe about 20 years ago. And in that 20-year period, me and Thomas may have saw each other maybe about 4 times, 4 or 5 times. And but we always talk on the phone. And I had an issue where we had an issue with the photographer that we had prior. And so we had the event coming up and we just knew that we needed a photographer. And so Thomas and I was on the phone, we were talking, and out of the blue, he said, "Hey man, do you need a photographer?" And I was like, "What?" So that made me more adamant about praying. And when Thomas said that, and the timing that he said it was right on time, and I knew it was God. And so when me and Thomas began to talk, I was like, "Bro, you just don't know." And he was like, "Man, don't worry about it." He's like, "Man, I'm gonna come sow a seed into y'all program by providing some photography work." And when I tell you that these photos are,
Perfect.
man, I'm talking about Ford magazine. I'm talking about they like premium, premium. Thomas, thank you so much, brother, for sowing into our, I guess it's our ministry. You know what I mean? Thank you for feeding Georgia families. Allie, we appreciate you so much. Every month we come, you guys give us so much food to hand out to our kids. And the interesting thing is that not only are we helping the kids, but we actually helping the families. And we received some positive feedback on Friday from a few families about how impactful our work is to them. And you know I don't know, it just overwhelming. And the other things that what me and Sheila do, we don't record it and put it on social media and stuff like that. That's just not how we do. We're not trying to be seen. This is something that we do from the heart. This is something that we believe we've been called to do. And being on social media, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I mean, social media is a great tool, but I think certain things need to be restricted. You know what I mean? I just don't think that always showing people that you giving people money or you helping someone. Let the streets talk. You know, if you go out in the community and you get the God got a way of letting your name be known amongst the community, amongst the nations. You just got to put in the work and make sure it's coming from a good place. And so we really appreciate all the work that has been accomplished this year. And so we did, how many photo shoots we do? I know Thomas, I know the first one, I know the
Are you talking
three.
about together when we had the events?
Yeah,
Well, our first event, we had one
yeah,
that was last year,
yeah.
and then we had two this year
Oh, two this year. Yeah.
because we had it on the 29th and then the May 3rd.
Yeah. Okay. So we had three.
Right.
So we also want to thank the Cobb County School District.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, like real talk. Oh, want to thank Congressman Hank Johnson for giving us our proclamation for the Stafford Boxing Club Day. So every year, March the 29th is the Stafford Boxing Day. We are in the United States Library of Congress. You feel me? You feel me?
I had to make sure.
So we are in the United States Library of Congress. We have our own day. We did good this year. I'm proud, and to just see them one last time. However, we are going to see them on during the summer. We have some events planned for them. So I want our sponsors to know that when you cut us the check, we're gonna make sure that the check is used for the kids. And I hope that you are I hope that you are seeing the illustration of the vision that we're putting forth, that you can see where the grant dollars are being spent for the kids.
They see it. That's why we've been able to be blessed with those grants and those that have been sowing into it. Can I just say something real quick?
Absolutely.
Because I know you're definitely going to, I don't know which one you're going to read from Cuss, but I wanted to say this real quick. I had talked to my husband this morning. There's some things, not between us, it's just some things that, and I'll cut this short. There are some things that I have been dealing with. And I always talk to God. I got into my word. I heard what God had said. And I'm just sharing this with other people so then we can all be on the same page. So I know in the Bible, Paul said that he had a thorn, and I do believe that I have a thorn too. And the reason why, in my opinion, that I have this thorn is because there's more work, of course, that needs to be done in me, and the healing, as well as being able to handle these certain situations that keep on coming up and not giving it any thought, and just knowing how to. I've been conducting myself better, but just doing certain things that I don't need to do to bring attention to myself to make it to continue on going. So, for those that might be going through something like that, just think of it as a teaching experience, and this will also make us better. So that's how I had to take it because, boy, it's been bothering me sometimes. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
And Sheila, I wanted to piggyback on that as well, because I too am growing as being more patient. So let me give you an example. So today, my wife said, sometimes women just want men to just listen and just get it out. And I was hearing the Holy Spirit like, man, just be quiet and just listen. And when I listened to her, she was just able to pour. She was just talking, talking, talking. And I was listening attentively. I wasn't just like, oh, well, let me just let her talk. No, I was listening because as her husband, as her friend, as her brother in Christ, I'm really trying to be a better man so I can be a better person for her, because my sole purpose in life is to serve my wife, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. And it was something that I heard D.L. Hughley say about Bernie Mac. He said that when Bernie Mac is a real black man, and he explained, he said when Bernie Mac, God bless his soul, would, finish with his, his comedy act or whatever, he'll go back to the hotel room and he'd get on the phone with his wife. Mm-hmm. He said that there are a lot of niggas, but not a lot of black men. And for me, that was something that pierced my heart and let me know, like, that's something that I want people to say about me when I'm no longer here, that Stafford was a real black man, that we never heard about him cheating on his wife. We never seen him disrespecting his wife. We never seen him doing anything that was contrary to what he was supposed to do according to his spiritual beliefs. And man, Sheila, I want to say, thank you for talking to me this morning and telling me what you want from me. And she said, I want you to listen more. And I'm working on that. I'm working on being a good listener. The Word of God said, "Be quick to listen and slow to speak." And you can learn a lot just by listening. And listening is a tool that I'm working hard to really take it to another level. Because oftentimes in conversations, people always want to say this and say that, but when a person doesn't always have something to say and he just listen, that really shows that he's more sophisticated in his strength than the rest of the group.
I don't know who that is, but hello. And real quick, thank you, Talk and Fight, for my Mother's Day present that I received. I received a package, Age Quencher. It had the protein,
The
the
serum,
vitamins, the serum moisturizer, as well as the pre-workout.
yeah.
So I will let you all know. Oh, the protein tastes real good too.
I ain't taking it because I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying?
It's supposed to definitely help with the skin from sagging and the wrinkles, but I'll talk more about
So
it. But
Cowboy
thank you.
5, yes, we are in the United States.
Thank you, Talk and Fight.
For real. Shout out to Talk and Fight, Eric and Graham, always keeping it a buck. But yeah, man. So like, I think that as we grow and mature, it's very important for us to always want to change. So in this marriage, I can't speak for any other marriage, but in this marriage, I'm always being a student because I always want to learn. I always want to learn and be a better person, be a better man, be a better husband, just be a better businessman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So listening is very important. I think that if we will listen more, we can understand people more and we can have more empathy for more people.
Yeah, especially if it's somebody like me. I used to be just closed off and I wouldn't talk. So then with me trusting you to just be able to talk about anything, I should be able to talk about I saw an ant carry something on its back. Just something, I'm just giving you an example, something so small, but it can be powerful. I can't read that.
Yeah. So, I'm from Austria. Oh, how you doing?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know somebody who lives in Australia. We grew up
No,
together.
Austria. It's different.
Oh,
yeah.
you said Austria?
Yeah.
Oh,
Austria.
I'm sorry. I didn't even hear you. I'm sorry.
I love Austria. Shoot, you love the USA. I love Austria. Cowboy 5, for real. Man, baby, did you ever think about like we would be touching people or reaching people in Austria, bro?
Never.
That's crazy.
I can't see it. You have to read out loud. What are they saying?
It says D live God, D live high five, D live high five. I don't know. Listen, forgive me. Sometimes I don't understand certain lingo.
Are you serious? You don't understand certain lingo?
Well,
Mr. Lingo ATL, Mr. Lingo Texas, Mr. Hashtag.
man,
You want to know about New York?
Man,
Not.
man. So, but before we go, I always like to read certain things from Customato. The Customato Mind. It's a great book. It's not that it's not thick, but it's like a cheesecake. It has so many jewels in it. And so we were talking earlier about our program, and so
wow.
yeah, and so like
Maxwell. Oh boy,
yeah.
everything seems to be on point.
So my goal this year was to make sure that our program has a positive effect on the kids. And so I was just reading, I was just scamming through the book, and I saw a quote from Customato, and it's about leadership. And it says, greatness is not a measure of how great you are, but how great others came to be because of you.
Oh, that's strong right there.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah. So like, just think about it, baby. Like 10 years from now, them kids, they gonna be out and we get to see like our seeds grow. And now our kids going to different middle school. And we had an opportunity to sow a seed in them at an early age. And now we get to, watch that seed grow. But we are weed pullers too. And so what I mean by that, so as we see our mentees grow, and if we see a weed, we pulling it out. Because we will not allow the weed to choke the seed that we planted in fertile soil.
And you know what? With you saying that, I always knew But I saw today how important it is for men to be in leadership positions. Let me give you an example like today. The kids, some of the teachers didn't come to school today because it's towards the end. So the kids were eating their lunch in the hallway. Now, I'm not saying that they don't listen to me, but I did not speak loud enough, but they did listen. But when my husband came, now it was me, it was Miss
Walk.
White,
Oh,
and
that's her name.
Miss
Miss White
White
and
and
Miss
Miss Walker,
Walker.
right?
Yeah.
Now the teachers, I'm not saying they're chilling, but it's towards the end. They're like,
And like 48 hours is over with.
so as soon as my husband came, because I didn't think of doing it, I'm just like, okay, they're not too loud, but let them have a little bit of fun, right? So I didn't even know my husband had came until I turned around and he's like, hey, hey. And he was just saying, don't disrespect your teachers.
And I said, don't disrespect these female
the
teachers.
female teachers. And then he said something else. Boy, it was total silence. And Miss White looked at me and started smiling and said, I love it. She says, I love it because this is what they need. Now, look, I'm not saying women that we can't be leaders. I'm not saying that people don't listen to us. I'm not saying anything or putting us down. But I just think in actuality, things do need to be balanced. There are times when a man does need to be present, like a man needs to be present in his child's life. And I've been seeing so many videos lately, once again, about the mother just doing stupid stuff, not wanting the father to see his child, but it just makes a great impact. So we need to see more men leaders, all leaders of different races, but especially in our community we need to see and have more Black men leaders. And it's okay, women, if sometimes we just step back. It's okay.
Yeah. So Miss White was like, she's like, Mr. Stafford, can you lend your voice for a second? I'm trying to get the kids' attention. I was like, wait. You know, I just did my little thing, and I said, hold up, man. Look, I hear too much noise down at the end. I need your undivided attention. And I said, listen, I need to hear a cricket right now. And they were quiet. And Sheila, you're right. I think that we need to see more Black men in the school system. There are a few that I saw at Panola Way, but it was more female teachers than male teachers, and so we need to be present in those schools. What?
What is he saying? Because I can't see.
Oh, he said there are a lot of actors living in America, and the best films come from the USA. I agree, but I disagree. I think I think
China though.
I think there are films. I think there are great films all over the world. I think there are great actors all over the world.
I like karate
movies.
So.
I just think that everyone has a different niche, and certain film industries provide certain type of products, and so. Yes, the USA has some great actors, but I think there are great actors all over the world.
Oh, I'm so glad y'all brought up movies. Guess what is a part 2?
What?
Remember that movie from Tyler Perry that we saw when the what's her name got married and her family was talking, and he was trying to follow his dream, his vision, and he ended up getting back with the lady that he had cheated on her with in the trailer. Was it Anarchy? Anarchy?
Oh, I know you talking about the one where he eventually got.
Yeah, they said that there's a part 2 coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that dude tripping, man.
Why? What happened?
Hey, man, that dude tripping, man.
Why? What happened?
Man, he said something crazy up there.
What did he say?
Man, I ain't finna say that on the air, man.
I want to get up and read it.
No, man, you don't need to read that, man. That's foolishness there, man. That's the enemy, bro.
But I still want to see it, though. Why can't I read it?
You want me to tell you what he said?
Yes.
He say he like porn movies, man.
Oh, you got to go. We don't talk about that on the Stafford
That boy
Boxing
there
Club.
tripping, man. Talk about he like porn. Well then, bro, if you like porn, this ain't it, bro. That's a violation.
We're G
That's a
rated.
violation, man.
We G rated over here.
That's a violation, cowboy. For real, man. You
Don't be
come from all the way
disrespectful.
from Austria. Yeah, thank you, bro, for saying sorry. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro. For real. Come on now. Don't do that. It's a violation. Well,
Yeah. What a way to end the podcast.
yeah, we don't want to end our podcast show like this, cowboy. So next week, when you tune in to the Stafford Boxing Report, have some good stuff on the comment. Don't talk about no butt naked, bro. We don't want to talk about that. I'm a married man. I'm faithful to my wife, and this a married woman. We ain't talking about whatever, that is called ministry. We ain't talking about no ministry right now. We talking about empowerment. We talking about how the sport of boxing is being viewed across the world. The injustice that goes on in these boxing matches. We talking about kids. We talking about the community. We talking about leadership. We talking about positive things. So when you come to the Stafford Boxing Report, come with some positive stuff, bro. We don't care nothing about you saying whatever you want to say, but bro, don't put that on our stuff, bro. Go somewhere else with that, bro. I'm talking about some porn, bro.
No cap.
Yeah, because that was big cap right there. But anyway, we finna get out of here. Stafford Boxing.
The making of champions.
And that's no cap.